Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll video. Today I'm playing Modern, and this is an archetype that was requested by Patreon subscriber Tom. So Tom's been with my Patreon for a few months now, and every other league that he has requested was Legacy Lands. It is extremely tickling to me that the alternative pet deck is one with main deck Blood Moon. So there's something there that I appreciate, the duality of man, or whatever you want to say about that. But here we are, ready to play some Blue Moon. So the list that Tom sent me was a jumping off point. Tom said, I want to see some Blue Moon. Here's a list to start with. So I had some free reign to explore the archetype. And this is the most compelling version I found. I don't know if it's necessarily the best version, but it's doing some really cool things. So you'll notice 4 Blood Moon compared to the normal 2. Normally it's 2 and an otherwise normal is it Control Shell. This is the full 4. We also have 4 Chalice of the Void, which means there's no 1-drops, which seems weird for a deck that generally relies on Serum Visions and Opt to get through the game. So there's no 1-drops in this deck. This is very much built more like a Red Prison deck in Legacy than it is like a control deck with some Blood Moons in it. And I like that take on it. You still have the mana leaks, the cryptic commands, like all the things that you would expect in Is It Control / Blue Moon, but there's no 1-drops, much more heavy on the prison, and the primary win condition is Yidaro, the Wandering Monster, which makes me so happy. So Yidaro, if you're not familiar with this card, it's an 8/8 with trample and haste for 7. You can cycle it for 1 and a red, and when you cycle Yidaro Wandering Monster, shuffle into your library from your graveyard. If you cycled a card named Yidaro Wandering Monster 4 or more times this game, put it onto the battlefield instead of your graveyard or put it onto the battlefield from your graveyard instead. So you cycle this boy a few times, and then bam, here comes an 8/8. The answer to that one, every one you cycle after that, bam, 8/8 to deal with. Meanwhile, you have this control prison shell around it, and I'm really interested to see how this works out, because this is a totally different take than I've seen before with this deck. So, Tom, thanks for the inspiration. Let's go play some Is It Prison? So right here, off the bat, in round 1, I'm on the draw with the Gemstone Caverns. I'm going to keep. And I'm going to pitch, I guess, Sulphur Falls. Surprise. Here's this card. This is a deck that definitely would have wanted Simian Spirit Guide in it, but that's not a card that is legal in Modern anymore. So another smartly built part of this deck is there's 4 Fire Prophecy, which is a removal spell and also card selection, which is great for matchups where, for example, they're mono red and Blood Moon's not very good. So let's hit this. Yeah, they can growth, but that saves me 3 damage on their turn. That's not even a big deal. So you get to keep your thing, but I get to turn that card into a better card. And next turn I can Fire Prophecy this thing again and Suspend Visions. Ooh, no land drop. Interesting. So I don't think I need this Scalding Tarn. So I'm going to go for another Prophecy. Get rid of Tarn. Oh, Shadow of Doubt. That's just what you want against Red Prowess. But if I find the land, Snapcaster Mage is a complete banger here. If I don't, it's fine, but I would really like to. Easy money. So should I get the basic mountain? I should probably check to see what's actually in my deck here. Magmatic Sinkhole, Yidaro, Fire Prophecy. I guess it doesn't hurt to get the mountain. And I'm going to snap right now on my own turn, again to play around Prowess. Target Fire Prophecy. And I can turn the Shadow of Doubt into something different. I'm going to go after Soulscar Mage, because once the creature's already in play and haste doesn't matter anymore, Soulscar Mage just has significantly more text on it than Swiftspear. If I had known I was drawing Repeal, I probably would have gone for the haste creature, but here we are. Just got to survive until my visions can pop off. That's not a card I'm going to commit to playing. At some point I'll find a Fire Prophecy or or something to cash that in. Alright, so no blocks. Please commit a spell. Alright, they didn't commit a spell. This will at least save me a damage. Ooh, nice. If they miss their land drop again, this remand's actually kind of good. Oh my god. This is getting gross. So I get to Chalice this turn. Oh, and I have Mana Leak to back it all up. And Visions is popping off next turn. That should do it. I guess I have to figure out how to win the game. I have 0 cycles on my Yidaro, so they could play a longer game here and end up beating me somehow. But I'm about to draw 4. Alright, there's Yidaro. So I could try to cycle a Yidaro now. I guess I should do that. This gives me a chance to hit a land drop or find a second Yidaro. Like, the alternative is leaving up double counter, but I have Chalice of the Void against their 1 land. I don't think I'm going to need double counter. And I think I do want to get a Steam Vents in while it's free to do. They're moving to discard over there. That's good news. Spend this. Get a backup Chalice. Just in case they have a Braid or something that would make that not safe anymore. This is a beating. It doesn't even matter that I've drawn 3 Blood Moons this game because Chalice is doing the work. Nice. Yeah, so now we're just waiting. Got the second Ancestral Visions. It has 2 counters left over there. They're going to discard for the 3rd time. I could have Crypticed to bounce their Mountain before discard. That could have been pretty savage, but I don't think is necessary. Alright, they backed it up appropriately. Okay, so it does look like this version of the deck was built with Prowess firmly in mind. Blood Moon and Shadow of Doubt are not cards that I'm going to need here. Anger, a Braid, Aether Gust looks pretty good. And there's options on Negate, but I don't think it's super important. I have other counter spells for that. Engineered Explosives right here in the main deck. Magmatic Sinkhole. Yeah, this list was definitely tailor-made for Prowess. Now that I see, like, I could see on paper how they lined up, but now that I see it in practice, but also they were on 1 land, so I don't want to get too excited about how easy that was. It's probably Cryptic Command that gets the cut, just being a 4-drop. Just Behold the Multiverse also isn't the most exciting, but I do like having cards. So let's do this. Oh, what's that? Gemstone Cavern again? Don't mind if I do. It's smart to win game 1, because then you get to be on the draw for game 2 also. And you get to Gemstone Cavern again. I think I'm going to chuck one of the Yidaros. Exile a card. Yeah, Yidaro I think is the worst one here, or at least the most replaceable. Soulscar Mage. So I do want to get this Visions working. So I will. Just committing that now. I have multiple 2-mana things I could do. Like, maybe it would have been better to remand. I don't know. Let's see what they put on the stack. They have so many 1-drops that remanding, that would have been pretty good to remand. Let's just draw Anger the Gods and not worry about it. Anger? Alright, that's not Anger. So I can sit on this remand or cycle Yidaro if it doesn't work. Remand's a little sketch because it gives them multiple Prowess and Sprite Dragon triggers, like if they replay their spell. I think the best I can hope for is another Sprite Dragon here. Okay, that one does a lot. Alright, Prophecy's good. That can kill the Sprite Dragon. Oh wow, they click through their attacks. That had to be an accident. But I'll take what I can get, if I'm being honest. Alright, so Scalding Tarn. I think I just want to get my basic mountain and then get rid of the Steam Vents with Prophecy. Alright, it resolved. Sweet relief. Alright, that was a good draw. Okay, here we are. We got the hooks in. We're at 17 life. Now it's time to not die for a while. Gotta find an answer to this Soulscar Mage. We are at 2 turns away from Visions. So I could just Behold here. I guess I don't need to do that. So I can foretell this. And then I can just Behold on their turn for the same mana. They're at the point of the game where they're firing off lightning bolts just for prowess triggers. And that's a place where I want them to be. I think I want to cycle Yidaro, not cast Behold. So I guess, no, Behold gives me more options, and that's what matters. Right. Okay, with Storming Entity, I definitely want to have as many options as possible, because that's a hard card to answer. Behold. Anger the Gods is a good one. It is very difficult to repeal a Stormwing entity, gotta say. Let's draw 4. It's hard to engineered explode one also. It's not hard to bounce one with Cryptic though. Okay, so land drop of course, and then get angry. Any instant will save the Stormwing. Oh wow, they just had nothing. That seemed unlikely, but I'll take it. Those 3 cards in their hand are not instants. Nice. So I can repeal my own Chalice. Do I think that's going to be better? Yeah, probably. Oh, well played. I can't repeal my own Chalice. Alright, so getting too clever over here. Should have just let that resolve. So do they have another Stormwing entity? Nope, they got 1-drops. I can deal with those. And a leak, sure. Alright, engineered explosives on 1. So this can kill Soulscar Mage and any haste creatures that show up in the meantime. 1/2, 1/2. So I can activate explosives and mana leak. So do I want to take 2 to make sure they don't get a follow-up play? Nope. I'm just gonna protect my life total everywhere I can. They've not indicated to me that their hand is full of gas. Quite the contrary, in fact. I'm almost at just casting Yidaro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually at casting Yidaro. So I guess that's the play, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wandering Shell. Alright, they're on a 2-turn clock. This might be risky attacking. It might be safer to just hold back for a turn, but they're dead in 1 turn. Like, they have to kill me right now with 2 cards in their hand. So Lava Dart deals 5. Alright, Seasoned Pyromancer. 5. If they have 2 Lava Darts, they have me for Exaxes, I guess. If their hand is exactly 2 Lava Darts. There's none in their graveyard yet. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I do that math right? Each Lava Dart is good for 4 damage. No, they're each good for 3. Why can't I do this math? Why am I so dumb? So, you cast each Lava Dart twice, which is 2 prowess triggers. So that's 4 damage. Plus the 2 damage each actually does. That's 8, 9. So I was actually fine. Okay. Well, I won the die roll for round 2, so I don't get to Gemstone Caverns. But I am going to keep this. This is where we find out if this no 1-drops strategy is a good one. I guess it's more fun to bluff that I could have Lightning Bolt than bluff that I could have Opt. Like, Mountain Go just gives a totally different vibe than Island Go. And I don't know how many decisions they're going to make differently because of that on turn 1, but I do like leading on that. Oh, speak of the devil. Let's hope this is good. I mean, most decks with Polluted Delta in them don't really want to play against Chalice of the Void. So opt while you still can. Yep. Alright, this Chalice is probably going to be pretty solid. I don't think this is Shadow, but I guess it could be. Like, I have no reason to think it's not. I mean, they didn't reveal Luris. I don't know. I don't know if I have any real actionable intelligence right now. But I know I have a lot of reactive cards in my hand. That part is true. I would love to. So Fire Prophecy, as good as it was last round, I think it's going to be similarly bad this round. Because if the deck doesn't have creatures, this is just a big old blank. So I need to draw an island. Alright, I'll certainly take that. It's much better than the nothing that was also available to me. So let's see what they want to do here. Is it like end step Cryptic, bounce my Chalice, and then untap? Alright, just putting a 2/1 into play. That's a deal. I can Fire Prophecy that. Goodbye, opt. Didn't need that one. Now myself and my opponent are even for this league on jamming spells into my own Chalice. Alright, we got another spell coming. That's a good one. Oh baby, I wish I had negate up. Turns out missing land drops and control mirrors is bad. Target creature, not planeswalker. Bummer. I'm basically going to have to set up some sort of bounce Jace, untap, make sure it doesn't resolve again situation. I guess Yidaro could blast it, but I don't have a lot of answers to a resolve Jace. My plan is use all these counter spells to make sure that doesn't happen. Magmatic Sinkhole does play. They bottomed the card. Land? Great. Okay, so I think that I want to Behold the Multiverse first. None of these are what I want. Okay. Lands have arrived. So these are both of the colored sources I was looking for. A Fire Prophecy. I'm just going to get this cast, and I'm going to cycle away another Fire Prophecy with it, because I have to go to discard anyway. So I want to cast my thing now. The Terrifying spell I'd like to negate is already in play. So holding up negate and going to discard to do it doesn't seem like what I want to do. They just brainstorm go. This is where things start to become terrifying and shitty for me. I guess if something can cheese a victory from here, it might be Blood Moon. Though they do have 2 fetch lands over there. I can Shadow of Doubt one of them. Or maybe both. I don't know. We'll see. Mana Leak. That's not something I can remand effectively. This card just doesn't seem worth fighting over, honestly. And if they didn't have the 2 fetch lands, I'd consider it. Get out of here. Can we get a stifle? Moral victory. Alright, they know how to fetch in response to Shadow of Doubt. That's a bummer. That's actually not bad. As far as working through the counterspells in their hand go, their like 7th land or 6th land compared to their 5th doesn't seem super important to me. But they are activating Jace every turn, so it's not like they just don't have anything. Alright, we're gonna do the Blood Moon dance again. They have so many lands in play right now. It's clever to fetch in response to my fetch, because then if I Shadow of Doubt, then I also can't fetch. So, well played. Is it time to make my move on Jace? I don't think so. Just try to work through their hand a little more. I would really like to back up my Cryptic Command with Remand and Negate when I go for it. So Snapcaster, target Archmage Charm. So Archmage Charm out of the graveyard. Remand is a hard counter for it, because it'll end up in exile instead of getting bounced. Like normally in Blue Mirrors I would bounce my own Blood Moon there, but because the Archmage Charm is leaving anyway, I think that's a fine choice. Alright, Yidaro's here. That is my plan to win this game. If they brainstorm forever with Jace and don't get this game over with, Yidaro will do the deed. I don't know what their black cards are, but Blood Moon has taken them off them. Alright, so I think I just want to play my Steam Vents. I'm going to cycle Yidaro on their turn, and then I can, if that draws a brick with Fire Prophecy, that's something I'm happy to point at Snapcaster Mage. But hopefully I just get to Yidaro my face off. There's 4 of them in the deck. Bottom. Wandering Monster. This is an ability that triggers from the graveyard though, so you can bring in Surgical Extraction to blank Yidaro. Can I actually win a game where my Yidaros get surgical? Probably not. Ooh. Bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to take 2 from Snapcaster and cycle another Yidaro. Maybe I should have left up triple red in case I just somehow string 3 Yidaros together. I thought that red would be, or blue would be at a premium because of Cryptic Command, but I think I could have threaded this needle a little better. Ah, punished. It's just easily stringing together every Yidaro that I play. Alright, can I find a 4th one right away and kill Jace? That's what we're looking for here. That's the plan. Ooh. Okay, so this Sulphur Falls I can pitch to Fire Prophecy. The fact that I have 3 Yidaros stacked up now and the next one is an 8/8 should have my opponent shaken a little bit. Do I care about this? I mean, if they care, I probably do too. Right? Is that good game theory? I don't even know. But that is a big thing to commit to bouncing Blood Moon. I'm probably supposed to respond to that Jace activation with Fire Prophecy. Like if I'm going to do it, that's a good time. But maybe I just wait for the end step, just take my 2 and let it go to the end step. I don't want to tap out of Cryptic Command if I don't have to. Though, like I've said, Jace is the scariest card I'd be worrying about. Alright, they countered Fire Prophecy and bounced Blood Moon. Reasonable. Yidaro! Alright, so I have 1,000,000 mana. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is enough to do all of the things that are in my hand. So let's fight over Blood Moon, since you clearly care about it. And then Yidaro will dumpster your Jace, I hope. So the Snapcaster, they'll tap out for the Cryptic. Okay. Yeah, this taps them out. I guess they could have Force of Negation, which is not a card that's in my deck, but it is a card that could be in theirs. But I get to kill Jace basically regardless here. Counter draw. Counter target spell, draw a card. Do you have Force? You do have Force, pitching Supreme Verdict. Sure. Alright, Blood Moon's countered. Now I kill Jace. Boom. Okay, so the good news is Jace is out of play, and I have an 8/8. The bad news is, I am on a pretty short clock to these Snapcasters, but their clock's even shorter. They're on a 2-turn, so I take 4, I go to 5 to 1 to dead. They go to 6 to dead. So I'm actually winning the race right now, somehow. So Yidaro, you're up, buddy. Carry the day. Let's see if they have Doomblade. Like, Path to Exile's off. They need some sort of multiple mana or like multiple thing here. Like Murderous Cut, I guess. Any like actual Doomblade, but you can't Path to Exile. Don't even know what's happening. Like Cryptic bouncing it is just hilarious because I get to redeploy it and draw an extra card. Kaya's Guile. Oh, with Kicker. Okay, so I'm gonna kill one of these Snapcasters in response and try to cycle into a counterspell. I didn't do it. Alright, Yidaro's dead. My graveyard's gone. Alright, that'll probably do it. That's a good reason to fight over Blood Moon, the way as hard as they did. Yeah, Force of Negation came down to them being able to play on 0 mana versus me not. Actually, this game came down much earlier than that to me not having, missing that land drop where they snuck the Jason. So I'm just going to collect a few more clicks from them here. And I'm dead. Alright. So, land drops are important in control mirrors. Lesson learned. Fire Prophecy, not great. Mystical Dispute and Negate I want Niv Mizzet. Ashiok is like, okay, maybe. Fire Prophecy is not the best. Magmatic Sinkhole can at least hit Jace. I don't want to just get punked out by a bunch of Snapcaster mages, so I'm going to have to consider what I want to do about that. They did care about Blood Moon. They did want to fight about that. So current answers to Snapcaster Mage in my deck are 1 Fire Prophecy, 2 Engineered Explosives, and racing it with the Yidaros, or ambushing it with the Yidaro. It's like I could technically Chalice on 2 also, but that hurts me a lot. But yeah, I think this is fine. Do I want Ashiok over one of the Blood Moons is another question. Because without Fire Prophecy to cycle through Blood Moons, you can draw a lot of dead ones. And they do care about their graveyard, and Ashiok in a lot of ways plays like a Blood Moon. Commandeer is another card I could play, just like jacking their Jace would be a big deal. But I don't think that's how I want to play this game. Alright, this is my plan. I'm going in like this. This is a hand without any blue mana. Ship it. Alright, this is everything I want. Keep it, send Repeal to the bottom. So I'm gonna shock in Steam Vents, suspend Ancestral Vision, and then I get to hold up Remand or Yidaro next turn. Yeah, let's just get the pedal to the turtle here. Dinosaur, turtle. If they have Thoughtseize, it would be a little annoying, but I have 2 Yidaros, so it's mostly fine. I'd certainly prefer they just cast like Serum Visions here, though. Oh, they're just playing around my Stifles. Nice. I love that they saw Shadow of Doubt. Now they have to respect it, even though it's very silly. I guess I should respect it too, since that's the game we've agreed to play. Alright, so I'm gonna cycle Yidaro. This is definitely a situation where I need to hit some land drops. And if they do have Surgical Extraction, alright, good they didn't. Come on, deck. Land. Jesus. Alright. I hope this doesn't last too long. I have the second Yidaro to cycle, and I have Ancestral Visions 2 turns away, so this isn't as dire as it could be, and I have 2 2-mana interactive spells, so we're still playing this game. But they have just broken serve. They're now ahead on mana and cards because they were on the draw. I mulliganed, and they hit the land drops that I didn't. Oh, jeez. Relief. I'm not just going to slam Blood Moon into 4 mana. Like, if I slam Blood Moon, they can just either counter it or just fetch for a basic island, untap, jam Jace. Not interested. I'll pick my spot better than that. Well, we were just saying. So this is a line. I think it's fine. Go ahead. Resolves. I have my Fire Prophecy. So they are targeting me. I'll prof this thing. I'm gonna tuck the Blood Moon because they already have a million basics. But this line did neatly let them resolve Jace or get a threat into play. Like, it's answer this or let me untap and jam Jace. Those are your choices. I think it would be reasonable for them to leave me with all these cards. Yep, and that's what they did. They have correctly identified that this game's going to be about land drops. Uh-oh. Just leaving up mana for my Ancestral Vision. Let's hope this resolves. And I have negate to protect it, but not two things. If they have, like, Notion Thief plus... plus Force, that's bad. Okay, yeah. Again, missing land drops was the difference between that card resolving and not resolving. Bummer. If I'm going to miss a land drop, I would prefer to draw a 1-mana spell, though. So if they just put Jace on the stack right now, I would love to dispute it. Esper Charm, target player draws 2. That's not the fight I'm going to fight. Oh, target player discards 2? I just totally read it wrong. What the fuck? Okay. Alright. These are gone. I probably would have countered the discard mode. Whoops. I'm not sure if Moto displayed it weirdly or if I just read it wrong. Be sure to tell me in the comments to slow down and read the cards. No 1-drops in the deck, so no rush on Snapcaster Mage. Alright. Don't even know if this is good, but I'm gonna do it. It's in the deck. I can't cast any other spells in my hand anyway. I do know they play Opt. Okay, so are they gonna try to make me discard more cards? Are they gonna try to draw more? They are on turbo discard mode. 1-mana spell through Chalice of the Void. Brilliant. Yeah, just getting buried by land drops. Like, very little matters in control decks, or control matchups, except the land drops. So I can Snapcaster Mystical Dispute. Is that even true? Spell-less controller, please. 3. They have 3. So they are targeting... Yeah, they targeted themselves. That makes sense. Yeah, they've just dug all the way out of soft permission at this point, and I'm just getting beaten down. Like, Mystical Dispute is a hard counter for me, and it's just laughable for them. Jeez. Okay, lessons learned. And I don't think we made mistakes per se, just the structure of games where, or control matchups where your opponent hits their land drops and you don't. Like, both of these games came down to they could protect their thing with spells and I couldn't. For round 3, I'm on the draw with a 1-lander. That's not where I want to be. And that hand goes off with a 2nd land. Jeez. Mull to 5 with my control deck. I'm going to keep this. I don't think I can keep Gemstone Caverns on a mull to 5. That just puts me to 4 cards right away. I think that Chalice is the type of card that can make up lost ground. I'm going to bottom Negate because that's one of the more polarized cards. Like, there's matchups where Negate just isn't good. Ooh. Merfolk, huh? Interesting. Okay, so finding that was great. Now I get to actually take actions with my lands. And I can't play a game without islands, so it's not like I can play around Master of the Pearl Trident and Lord of Atlantis. I'm gonna have to remove them fair and square. I think that Chalice just got a lot worse because this is probably a Cavern deck. And if it's a tribal deck with more than one color, good chance. There's the Master. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be better off dumping the Chalice, especially now that I have a 2nd one. Okay, so I have Fire Prophecy. I want to kill Master of the Pearl Trident with it. Yeah, being on the draw against this curve is no good. Yeah, that's why I didn't commit to Chalice. It's just not good. If I miss my land drops again, though, not going to matter much. Like we've discussed before. Alright, enters tapped. Foretell. With Cavern in play, holding up Remand's not gonna buy me any time. Yeah, Remand importantly does say counter target spell if that spell's countered this way, etc. There are cards that have been printed that say return target spell to its owner's hand, which do work with Remand. Oh, I would have been able to remand that, but I'm not gonna play to a Phantasmal Image. out. Where are we on this? One more, right? Yeah. Next turn that pops. I would very much like to find another Fire Prophecy this turn. So I guess land's even better. If I draw a land and then Behold the Multiverse into Fire Prophecy, that would make me pretty happy. Or the other way around, also fine. I'm gonna gamble that this will find a land. I get to see 4 cards off of this, but like, maybe I wanted to keep a Fire Prophecy. Here we are. Don't know if passing the turn is right or wrong, but I'm gonna do it. Like if they produce a Lord, it's gonna do more damage than killing a creature. Yeah, so is that true? I take 3 damage off the board if I hit Lord of Atlantis or if I hit any of these individual merfolk. Like they're all worth 3. So I think getting this one is the correct one to get. Yeah, I don't think this game 1 is winnable. Certainly not without Anger of the Gods. Like I need that. I guess maybe the other Fire Prophecy. So I'm at 1. I don't think I have any outs. Like if I had a little more mana to like Snapcaster Fire Prophecy, or if they had 1 less creature, that would also do it. But yeah, I'm out of reach at this point. I'm not going to show them Yidaro or Snapcaster, but I am going to bring in my Angers. Alright, so Anger and a Braid come in. Just more removal spells. 1 to any target. I do feel like I want Niv Mizzet. That may seem silly, but I do think that just getting some beef on the board, especially beef with a repeatable shotgun blast of an ability, like being able to pick off little merfolk along the way. Mystical Dispute, it doesn't line up well against Cavern, but it is like a 1-mana hard counter for the matchup. I don't love Remand. Don't love Negate either. There's a lot of stuff I don't love about this plan, but I think that is their plan to make blue decks embarrassed. So this looks pretty good. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. I guess Negate could be better as Remand, but I'm not sure. Like the Cavern just throws up so much crap. But I guess I have 4 Blood Moons, so maybe I should be playing towards being able to counter spells. Alright, if there's a game 3, I'll move that around a little bit. Ugh. I have my best card. I'm gonna keep. This Gemstone Cavern is pretty bad when you're on the play. Maybe I should be boarding them out, but it is a mountain a lot of the time. Alright, time to find Sulphur Falls. That's what I want. I want a red source that doesn't hurt me. Just chain together a couple red sources here, and we'll shut it down. In trouble. I think reasonable Magic players may mulligan this hand, and I don't think that would have been a terrible call, but there's just so much upside here. And being on the play with Visions, like Anger does so much work if you get there. I don't know. Maybe it was greedy and bad, but maybe it was reasonable. Somebody who's better at math and probability than me, please tell me if this was a reasonable keeper, if I'm just a maniac. So they have Master of Waves in their hand. That card's terrifying. I was smart instead of dumb the whole time. I'm going to take out Aether Vial because Anger of the Gods can clean up everything else. Ooh. I guess that's a reason to do that on their turn. I had not considered Force of Negation on my Abrade. And I guess I can completely avoid that by just going into their upkeep. But like maybe that's fine, because that means less I have to work through for Anger. I don't know. Close call. Interesting stuff. Alright, the Green Lord. Mistbinder. It's scary that they cast that when they could have vialed it in, so they must have something else going on over there too. I think I want to cycle this and try to hit my land drop. This seems really important. Alright, Fire Prophecy's not a bad draw. It's not the land I wanted. But let's hope this Anger plan, just going all the way in on Anger, pays off next turn, because I don't have a backup. Alright, they chose to draw a card instead of buff their squad again. I'll take that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They can attack for 11 right now. But if they do that, they don't get to put in Master. I think they probably just want to cast Master. And then I need to string together, find the red source off Ancestral Vision plus Draw Step, and Resolve Anger. Their last cards are Force Blue card. I'm definitely dead. I found the red source. It is a painful one though. but it is a red source all the same. I get those out. This has pro red, so I'm gonna have to find another answer to that. Don't know anything about their hand anymore. They can attack for 4 right now. If they have a Lord, I'm just dead on board. Oh, this is also an illusion, so they attack for 5 right now. Right. That is how all of that works. And I don't have triple blue to cryptic to buy a turn, so I am dead. It is round number 4, and I'm back on the draw where I like to be with my Gemstone Cavern, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to exile Shadow of Doubt. That's just the weirdest card. So I have a turn 1 Chalice. Pretty exciting. Let's hope it's actually good. Ooh, turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 double Ancestral Vision. Get in there. Count it. No Spell Pierce? Alright, Opt is fine. So decks that go Island Opt, there's quite a few of them. Let's hope that this is one where Chalice is actually good. Like, this could be Storm as easy as it could be, you know, Shadow, or... Ooh, that's a little different. Now I'm feeling particularly stormy. I'm just jamming these up there. They're not going to help in my hand. Hopefully I don't need to remand anything essential this turn. And then we'll untap and figure it out. We'll find out right now if I should have left up remand. Like, if they go for, like, Brawl right now and then combo me out, that would be a bummer. Alright, that didn't happen, so we're good. I do actively want to draw lands, so I'm not going to fetch before my draw. Would like to see more lands. I didn't find them. But now I am holding up the other interaction. I should check the land count of this deck, because I do have frequently found myself in the position of, boy, I wish I had a land. I can Fire Prophecy that if I care. Delicate Awakening. If this is a real deck, I don't know what it is. I'm just comfortable not knowing the things I don't know. Ship a Remand. Okay. Now I'm more interested in fetching, because now I have 4 lands, I'm good. So I'll go get an island right now. It also shuffles the Remand back into my deck from the Fire Prophecy, which I didn't really like want to get rid of. I just didn't keeping velocity forward, hitting the land drops was more important, but I don't mind having Remand. That's certainly true. I'm gonna click in their draw step, see what they're up to over there. If they counter this, it's gonna cost them their mana on their own turn. Alright, yeah, that's not even a great Remand, because that's coming back again. If we're both playing the Remand by time game, but I have double Ancestral Vision looming, I am way ahead on that exchange. Nice. Now I can protect my fella with a Remand of my own, if that is important to me. They did just miss a land drop, which is notable. Alright, let's have a peek. See what we're working with. See what you're playing, mostly, is what I'm really interested in. Okay, so this is some sort of Through the Breach pile. They found the land. Through the Breach is the card that I don't want to have to play against, so let's get rid of that and make some sense out of this. Alright. So they have 2 Emrakul's that are dead cards without Through the Breach. They have 3 1-drops that are dead cards because of Chalice. And now I'm about to unload. Or reload. some amount of loading is about to happen. Alright, let's go nuts. And my Remand can hit their Cryptic. If they try to like Cryptic to counter this and bounce my Chalice. Looks like they're just not even interacting with that. Just letting me go ham. So Sulfur Falls. I don't think Blood Moon helps me here. This deck probably has Blood Moon in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can Yidaro next turn, just for the hard cast. But I know they have Cryptic over there, so that's probably not something I want to do. Yeah, I think I just want to go to discard. Oh, I don't have to discard. Moto is just a little crunchy. Alright. 7 cards, get to keep them all, even better. I am going to cycle Yidaro in the end step, though. Who's the sneak attack now? Or who's coming through the breach? It's Yidaro. It's your boy, Yidaro. God, I love cycling Yidaro into Yidaro. It feels like you're cheating. If I draw a 3rd Yidaro, I'm not going to cycle it right now. I want to leave up Remand to make sure I don't get sent through the breach. Speaking of. It's dinosaur time. So I attack for 11, they go to 6. Versus attacking for 3, they go to... So it does 1, 2, But I do have to play through their counter spells, so I'm gonna play this because they're also a combo deck. I just want to be very careful that I don't die suddenly. And I could pass the turn with Cryptic Command and Remand up and just kill them over 2 turns, or I could kill them over 1 turn and risk dying in the meantime. So I'm gonna choose this. Remand that. Take your time on that one. Get it out. Yeah, so they're trying to unlock their Lightning Bolt to take this pressure off. They don't know how much pressure I've actually got, which is 8 points of turtle. Cryptic, bounce. Oh God. Alright, what are the modes on this? Bounce, draw. You literally can't tell on Magic Online what the modes on this card are. It can't be done. So if they bounce this, that turns on a bunch of their other stuff. I could also just Yidaro in the end step, just let them have this. They can Lightning Bolt my click. I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you can bolt click. That's fine. I got bigger fish to fry, bigger turtles to swing with. First Yidaro, or third Yidaro, and fourth Turtle Zone, Turtle Power. Okay, so here comes Yidaro. I can put my Chalice back down. I still don't think Blood Moon's going to be an important part of this game, and right now I'm representing Remand and Cryptic, and they're dead on board with 2 Emrakul's in their hand, at least. Alright, they're passing. So they could have Cryptic to try to tap my squad. They could determine that the way they win this game is by going through the breach in combat and blocking Yidaro. Because Emrakul coming in, I have 6 permanents I can sacrifice, and I'm at more than 15 life, so that's not even lethal. Snapcaster Mage. That's going to go for a Cryptic, I guess, to bounce my boy. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Remand hard counter on the flashback spell instead of the other one. I think they should have tapped Yidaro, not bounced it, though, just strictly speaking, because if you bounce Yidaro, I cycle it, draw another card, and it's back in play. So it would have been slightly better to tap draw there. I guess they're playing around a second Yidaro already in hand, though. Whatever. We did it. Okay, so this is mostly a control mirror, but we have Blood Moons and Chalices where they have Through the Breach. We might both have Blood Moons, so I'm going to cut mine. I don't think it's good. Niv Mizzet's probably great. Braid doesn't seem important. Commandeer is this where I want to be with my life. So Aether Gust can hit Through the Breach if I'm worried about that. I think I like Fire Prophecy because when both players are these big blue shells with various top end things, the bottom end things like Snapcaster Mages and Vendilion Clicks start to become super relevant. So I think I might just want an additional thing to do here about the Snapcaster Mages, but Fire Prophecy does so much work. I think I might want a Miser's Commandeer. Just, I'll take that Through the Breach, thank you. Ashiok is not bad. Ashiok's probably better than Commandeer. And Shadow, I think it's better than Shadow too. Okay. I've come around on where I want to be. I think this hand's a keep. I'm not like doing backflips over it, but I have Chalice and sideboard card. Yidaro's a redraw. Count it. And running multiple Chalices, so if they mana leak one of them, I can hit with the other. Let's hope I didn't need to play around Shadow of Doubt here. Shadow of Doubt's definitely the weirdest card in my deck. Like, I could definitely live without that one. Hitting land drops, that's great. That's where I want to be. Sure, that's fine. I'm going to probably go for Ashiok next turn. JK, Vendilion Click. That's how you do that. Okay, so I'm not going to act in their draw step. I'm going to wait till their end step to click. Because 5 mana is the magic number where they get to do anything. So target player draws 2 cards. That's fine. Yeah, their scariest things happen on 5 mana. And even if they do resolve Jace, I can attack it with Vendilion Click. And Lightning Bolt is kind of a beating here. But mostly the click is to check their hand and see if my Ashiok can get in. Disputed my click. Okay, that's fine. Better now than on my turn. Land? Jeez. Alright, yeah, that's not really where I want to be. I could cycle Yidaro, try to hit a land, and then cast Chalice. I think that's my best way forward. Didn't pay off. Alright. This is a lot of Chalices. Few too many. I think it's safe to say. We're drawing a lot of cards over there. I might be going through the breach right now. It's elbow tap. Your 5 mana. Get it in. Ooh. Nope. Too much respect for Force of Negation. Alright, so Snapcaster, Archmage Charm, or... Oh, alright, Remand, sure. You got it. So, I can... Does Chalice on 0 do anything? Like, literally anything. Oh, it messes up my own Ancestral Visions. So, for sure, don't want to cast a Chalice on 0. I'm going to discard a Chalice to hand size. Just going to check my land count real quick. There are 22. That might be a little low for a deck with no 1-drops. Like, no cantrips to smooth. So, probably adding a land or 2 to this deck would be my first critique. Sheesh. Alright, I'm going to continue down this path of trying to draw fresh cards on my turn. And they can continue down the path of not letting me do that. It's going to work out well for them. Like now, like last game where we were just sort of bouncing spells back and forth, but I had Ancestral Visions. Now we're just sort of bouncing spells back and forth, but they have Snapcaster Mage. They also have hit all their land drops. Let's look at the board for a second. We both have 7 cards in hand, but they also have 7 lands to my 3. So they've just cantripped so many times, drawn extra cards so many times, that that's where we are right now. I don't like taking any of these actions on my turn. I'm just really don't think that waiting is the right answer. It's a nightmare. So all I want to do with my life in control mirrors is hit land drops, and we're not doing that well, both in that Esper matchup earlier and this one now. Those are both problems for me. So adding some lands to this deck is where I'd start. You could probably cut 2 of the Blood Moons. You don't need 4 of that card, especially if the rest of your deck is functioning. Though also all of this is related to this particular build of the deck. 22 lands, if I had the Ops and Serum Visions and that sort of stuff that this deck is supposed to have, would make a lot more sense. Alright, so I think it's too late for Chalice, but I can try to clear these Snapcasters. But with their 7 cards in hand, I'm sure they can figure out how to wiggle out of this one. Ooh, Beseiju. They're really committed to the grind here. They're very close to being able to get through the breach remanded and then just still cast it anyway. Let's take this pressure off, but this pressure is looming. Okay, am I just getting burned out? Alright, not quite. Hitting lands, oh my god. Give them to me. Put it in my veins. I have to leave up Cryptic Command this turn, because if they go through the breach through Beseiju, I'm going to have to tap the Emrakul. Alright, so they clearly don't have that. Or they're taking their time on it. Try to mess this up a little bit. Just try to get something into play. Them not jamming through the breach when they had Beseiju makes me think they don't have it. So I'm just super interested here. They can Beseiju this Cryptic Command out of their... Wait, Valakut's Awakening? That card's an instant? Who knew? Yeah, so they're going to Beseiju it, so I can't counter it. That's fine. That means if they draw a counter spell off of this Awakening, though, I can remand that. So they kept one of the cards in their hand when they Valakut Awakened. Mana Leak. Alright, so now they can just easily Beseiju me into the earth, or they could just attack with Snapcaster and bolt me a few times. It's all the same to me. They might not even have the Through the Breach in the deck post board, but I think if they boarded that out, they would also take Beseiju with it. So it's probably still in there. Oh yeah, here we go. Straight through. Yep. They're 10 or 11 lands to my 5. That was the difference there. We could totally have played that game differently if we were doing it right. So that makes me... Like, Beseiju might make me want some Blood Moons back. I don't think Repeal does a lot in this matchup. Engineered Explosives also does very little. So I could get my Commandeers in. I could Shadow of Doubt Commandeering a Valakut Awakening is kind of funny. Aether Gust is another cheap interactive spell. Maybe I do want Blood Moon. Though Cryptic Command, like I said, answers that as well. Alright, I'm gonna go the sampler platter, just one of each thing that I'm considering right in the deck. One Blood Moon, one Commandeer, one Aether Gust. Aether Gust and Blood Moon are both kind of answers to Beseiju. Alright, let's get this party going with Ancestral Visions. This is the kind of hand I'm pretty happy playing Drago with. Love that start. I'm not sure if it's good enough for Modern, but suspend Ancestral Visions, turn 1 on the play, give it to me. So I have Fire Prophecy here. I'm obviously not going to leave that up. Alright, we got a plan here, long-term plan. We got 2 turns worth of drawing 4 cards. Gonna make it rain eventually. There's just Drago over there. So now I guess the question is, do I start slamming Ashiok? And I guess I do. Like, they have a counter spell, sure, but let's make them have it. And if it resolves, it's just really good. And if we dance around my main phase spells, I'm gonna get that opt out of their graveyard. And this still can't get bolted. Exiled a bunch of lands in a remand, sure. So fetch lands are turned off at this point. That's a lot of ops. They bottomed the first opt and topped the second. And I'm pretty turtled up against the Snapcaster Mage or Vendilion Click beatdowns. Do have my prophecies. Alright, I'm just gonna pass here. I guess I could have played Scalding Tarns in case I need to cast 2 Fire Prophecies. I just don't think that's likely. Yeah, you got that. Without Simian Spirit Guide in the format anymore, I don't really need to worry about getting through the breach this turn. And the Blood Moon would be kind of interesting, I guess, because they've played this red-blue dual land on the blue side the whole time. So they're probably never casting Cryptic Command if I go through the breach. Definitely paying for that. They could have another one, and that's fine. Like, Remand is a huge beating on these suspend spells. Nice. Alright. I'm still holding up Remand, so I can stop a Through the Breach if they have it this turn. And I can Yidaro if they don't do anything. Reflecting Pool is a really interesting card to have in a 2-color deck. Yidaro. Alright, reload, round 2. Good chance I end up going to discard because I just have too many cards around. So Sulfur Falls into play. And I currently have 9 cards in my hand. I'll have to discard 2 if I don't take any other actions. Probably going to be Gemstone Cavern and Scalding Tarn, because Tarn is strictly better than Flooded Strand in this deck because I do have a basic mountain. And otherwise, I think I'd rather represent a fistful of counterspells than cycle Yidaro on my main phase and try to get anything going. There's also probably an argument to Ashioking them at some point to keep Snapcasters from playing. Alright, send that back. I can foretell this now. Like, you can foretell on your turn, it doesn't have to be as a sorcery. But I don't think that does anything important for me. Like, I can also just cast it for 4 mana if I feel like I want to do that. So that Through the Breach could have been a tester. Just seeing what I'm made of. I think I want to Behold here. Bottom. Oh yeah, Niv Mizzet. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, found a Cryptic. That was the missing piece of this puzzle so far. Just an actual hard counter. Still have 8 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't cast Niv Mizzet. I wasn't going to anyway. So that's fine. 5, 6, 7 mana. That's enough to Cryptic and Gust and Remand as needed. I think I can just discard a Fire Prophecy. So I think I might want to Ashiok them. Their graveyard's starting to get a little juicy for Snapcasters. Let's just clear it out. There, we got rid of an Emrakul as well. Don't know how many of those they have, but whatever. And if they end up bolting my Ashiok, it's not even a big deal. I feel like Ashiok's done what they're going to do. Don't even have to discard because I got the Gust. They put it on top, so they are serious about casting this thing. These aren't bluffs. These aren't like just heat checks where they're like, you got the counterspell, do it. Alright, so I'm going to play around Mystical Dispute by remanding this instead of Crypticing it. I'd feel really bad losing the game to a Mystical Dispute if I don't have to. Or a Spell Pierce, or like any of the above. Flusterstorm. This plays around all of them. Okay, so that's still in their hand. Get to cycle Yidaro here in the end step. Oh, this is certainly danger looming over there. There's no way around that. Like, they clearly have a plan, and the plan is to get their big idiot into play. I don't want to go to 15 life just in case. At this point, Ashiok's dead to bolt anyway. Just try to work through their deck. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but it's mostly free to do. I'm gonna play Chalice. Okay, so 6, 7, 8 mana. That is enough to Cryptic and snap something. I can play Chalice on 0 as a permanent in case I do end up getting annihilated, but I don't think I need to do that just yet. We're at the point where maybe I just let the Through the Breach resolve, and then I tap the Emrakul, and then it dies in the end step. I could also Snapcaster Behold the Multiverse. Holy crap, that's insane. That's not a thing I've ever done before, but I am very happy about it. And if we want to have an interaction in my end step, I'm okay with that too. God, Behold the Multiverse is so good. Limited All-Star, Pauper All-Star, Modern All-Star. This can get Mystical Disputed, but I'd rather this than the Cryptic Command. Remember last turn when I played around Mystical Dispute so I wouldn't die? And it looks like it was the right call. So now I'm beating down. This Niv Mizzet is pretty exciting, except that, like, where am I gonna sneak it in? So 6, 7, 8. I do not need to pay 2 life for this because all of my spells, all of my cards I could have are already, I can cast them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I want to counter this and bounce Snapcaster Mage. All right, cool. Now I got options again. That Through the Breach is handled. So if they have another one and another Mystical Dispute, and I'm just planning for the worst case scenario left and right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, another Cryptic. That's nice. 6, 7, 8, 9. This costs 6. I need 10 before I'm even remotely reasonable to jam Niv Mizzet. I want to get the Through the Breach out of their graveyard. Snap Through the Breach isn't something I want to have to deal with. They have 26 cards left in their deck. I'm going to sneak this Chalice in right now. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's enough to Cryptic and play around Mystical Dispute still. Slowly checking boxes. Target player draws 2. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm not excited about it, but better than getting something countered, better than getting Through the Breached. We can assume there's an Emrakul in their hand because they've played that whole game so hard around the Through the Breach. Alright, there's nothing worth casting in my graveyard. Land drops are great here. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have the magic 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get the pedal to the metal here. Even if they connect with Emrakul, I'm not dead necessarily. Like, I have things I can sacrifice. I'm at 2 life if it hits me. I have Chalice, so I'm not getting bolted. Like, there's game to play here. And Niv Mizzet will shut the door. Alright, so I draw a card, deal 1 to you, and go for the Cryptic, I guess. Counter target spell, and draw a card. Seems to be the correct answer. And if they have a Mana Leak or Negate or anything at this point, they're going to get their Emrakul in. Oh, that was a relief. Like I said, I have a plan. Like, I'm not just dead to Emrakul, but still feels good that that thing didn't resolve. Uh-oh, the third one. Okay, here we are. See if we can beat an Emrakul. Yep, there you are, Emrakul. So Annihilate 6, I go to 2. Ashiok, Mountain, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, yeah, I'm at 2. I still have Chalice, so I can't get bolted. Then I want Niv Mizzet to win this game for me. Do you play Bone Crusher Giant? What are we working with here? Alright, you're out of here. Goodbye, Emrakul. Shuffles in those Through the Breaches. I guess Snapcaster Mage is kind of scary, because like any Snapcaster Mage is lethal. But that's not true, because I just cast any instant and it dies. Alright, let's see if I can combo kill my opponent here. Attack with Niv. Put them to 8. There's a lot of cards in my hand right now. I think I want to just go to discard and lose Visions and Ashiok. Alright. They have to kill me this turn. They've cast 3 through the breaches. 2 of them just got shuffled back in. At least one of them's in exile. Alright, so if we get to my turn, I'm pretty sure I can't lose. Because I ping them in my draw step, I attack them to 2, and then I can cast 2 instants anytime to draw 2 more cards. Return target permanent. Okay, so they are trying to fight over my Chalice, which means they have Lightning Bolt. And a Leak was not a bad draw. If they've been sitting on a land, I could still just lose here. If they like pay for this and go Land Bolt, I'm dead. Not looking good. So they get to draw a card. Don't have it. Don't have the land. Oh, yes. Alright, we got away with one there. That was closer than it needed to be. But now they're dead. Alright, Niv Mizzet, too good. I have won the die roll for the final round. And get to mulligan this triple Chalice hand. It's already a multi-4, so might as well take it. Alright, I'm going to keep this. And this one's actually a little bit interesting. I'm going to bottom the island. And I'm looking forward to being disappointed on turn 3 when I miss my land drop. But between Remand, Yidaro, Double Visions, this is... I think land is the card that you want to get rid of here. Alright, looks like we're playing against Is It Prowess. And, oh, don't mind if I do. Yeah, I'm just going to kill this. I'm going to get rid of probably Visions. Visions is just like extremely ponderous and doesn't, like, it just takes so long to go off. I already have the one. I don't think I'm going to find a good window to find another one. And I'm not going to opt out of the loot because I just think that's too important. Like hitting my land drops, developing my other plays, what I'm looking for. Ugh. Really wish I had left up Remand in perfect hindsight here, but what are you going to do? Just draw another Fire Prophecy. Go off. That's not the prophecy I was looking for. So I can Remand if I need to, but again, we're in that weird spot where Remand is pretty bad against Prowess decks. Unless they play exactly Stormwing Entity, or I guess Bedlam Reveler, which I don't think is actually in these decks, but I'd be pretty happy to bounce it. If they don't give me anything worth remanding, I'm gonna cycle Yidaro. Like, I'm not gonna remand like Lightning Bolt, because they just get to cast it again and get more prowess. Yeah, I think I am way behind the gun here. There's no Anger of the Gods in the main deck, of course. Chalice, right on time. Though, I mean, turning off burn spells isn't bad. It does make remand less embarrassing. Slightly. Only slightly. Alright, that resolved. So we didn't get burned out in response. 3, 4, 5. Every spell does 3 from here. Yeah, like, if they have something like Lava Dart, it's actually just way better for them to cast it on their own turn even if it gets countered, because it's still worth 3 damage. I don't think this is the remand. Because, again, they can just replay it. I don't know if there is a remand. Yeah, it's that one. Never mind. There's a very easy remand. But they have so much mana they can just redeploy it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Anger of the Gods being in the sideboard, like, that's the out I'd be drawing to normally. But looks like I'm dead anyway. Straight through the Chalice. Showed up too late. 6, 10, 14 damage. Yep, that'll do. Yeah, Storming Entity. Really powerful card for these archetypes. Okay, so Anger and a Braid come in. Niv Mizzet comes in. Aether Gust. Gotta cut 7 cards. Blood Moon is an easy contender. Negate, I don't love. Doesn't counter what I needed to. Remand is awkward for the reasons described, and Shadow of Doubt doesn't do anything. So, clean little sideboard there, and right back in we go. I'm going to switch one of the remands for Mystical Dispute. Just, it's easier to leave with 1 mana, and Storming Entity is the scariest card they have. So, I am going to make that one last adjustment. So do you keep the 6-lander with Anger of the Gods? I don't believe so. Even though that is the card I want to see. This one's way better. This hand does have the enormous problem of just 1-for-1ing a bunch of times without a plan to pull ahead. But I do get to hang out this Engineered Explosives, threaten their 1-drops, and a Braid is there if they try to juke sideways into Stormwing Entity. Yep. You gotta put on the pressure you can put on. Them's the rules. But I do get to curve up the explosives into activate explosives if I choose to do that. I am likely to activate explosives in this combat step almost no matter what. I guess I would take 1 but not 2 from this Swift Spear. So here comes the 1. I'll take 1 to make sure they can't redeploy a bunch of 1-drop second main, but I don't want to take more than that. So I would have cleared it out if they committed any prowess triggers to it. Yeah, now anything they do, they have to awkwardly like second main prowess trigger this Swift Spear. I like that. Alright, so they're morphing probably into the Stormwing entity, which I have the Abrade for, which of course mutagenic growth would counter. But I gotta take my plays where I can get them. This is the play I lined up. Just gotta, hope it works. It's not gonna get any better. Like, they're gonna have mutagenic growth at all points. And at least it's not dealing 2 damage to me in combat this way. Yep. So by hanging out the explosives here, that did save me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage over the course of the game. We'll see if that matters in a minute. These cryptic commands, not ideal for dealing with Stormwind entity. Stormwing entity. That was my chance to mop it up, but dealing with the mutagenic growths, if they had it then, they're going to have it later. All of my removal is damage based, so just gotta hope they're a little softer when it matters. Now I will just clear this Swift Spear, because now every point's going to matter. I'm going to need to dance around these cryptic commands until I can find a way to clear these creatures permanently. Anger. Ooh. Alright. And if they have, like, Mystical Dispute or Spell Pierce, I'm going to die very quickly. Iteration. Alright, so I think I want to tap their squad now. Tap your creatures your opponents control, draw a card. Yeah, and draw a card is what I want to do. Like, I don't think I care about countering Expressive Iteration specifically. At this point, I need to get through my deck and find real answers to these things before I'm dead to them. They got a Lava Dart in exile. Stay there. Anger. Alright. I am, in fact, experiencing anger. Just not the kind I wanted. I'm not actually mad. It's a game. But this is too many lands, obviously. Alright, tap draw again. Probably should have fetched before I draw. Didn't matter. Just blown out. I didn't actually count if that fetch land puts lethal on the board, but it doesn't matter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if they have mutagenic growth, I'm dead. They need to have literally nothing. They need to have nothing. Okay, didn't matter. Yeah, 5, 9, 14. Yeah, I was dead even without the fetch. Just that one didn't line up. After just spanking prowess in round 1, I thought that's what this deck was built for, but this felt terrible. Holy crap. That was not even close. Okay, well, we went 2 and 3 with this wonky build of the deck. I think it is safe to say that I would rather be on a build that just has Opt and Serum Visions and like better control of what it's doing. I appreciate the deck building space of the Chalice and the 4 Blood Moon. That's pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed activating Yidaro and attacking with this card. Like, sign me up for more of that. But the lightning, or the Chalice and the Blood Moon, that means you don't get Lightning Bolt. You have to play Fire Prophecy, which makes perfect sense in this build of the deck, but I'd rather just be in a build of the deck that it makes sense to have Lightning Bolt. Then you get your 4 Snapcasters, and like Bolt, Snap, Bolt becomes a plan. So this was a fun experiment. It did not break our way. We didn't get embarrassed. We didn't get the floor mopped with us, but I would have preferred to play a more stable deck, but I'm glad I experimented with this, so you get to see me do this, so you don't have to. Tom, thanks for the suggestion to play Blue Moon, and everyone else, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.